What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'll be taking a deep dive and early look into the potential 2024 Daytona 500 intros. We'll through all the teams that have been confirmed for the 2024 Daytona 500, talk about the teams that have not been confirmed that could show up in the 2024 Daytona 500. So anyways, let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. We're going to start talking about the one car for Trackhouse Racing. This is already confirmed as Washington will compete in the one car for Trackhouse Racing in 2024, looking to win his first ever NASCAR Cup Series championship as well. Now, Washington is a very solid super speedway racer, but also Washington has come close to win Daytona 500 a couple of times. I think how good Trackhouse has been on super speedways, I do believe that Washington will have a really good chance and opportunity to potentially pick up his first ever Daytona 500 victory. Up next, how about the 2-car for Team Penske? This is already confirmed as Austin Cindric will drive the 2-car for Team Penske into 2024 Daytona 500. Austin Cindric won the 2022 Daytona 500, which was his first career NASCAR Cup Series victory. And he looks to win his second career NASCAR Cup Series victory and his second Daytona 500. Austin Cindric is a very solid super speedway racer. We know how good Penske is on the super speedway tracks. I think Cindric has a really good opportunity and chance to potentially win the 2024 Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 3-car for Richard Childress Racing? This is already confirmed as Austin Dillon will drive the 3-car for Rich Childress Racing in the 2024 Daytona 500. Austin Dillon is the 2018 Daytona 500 winner after, of course, having a controversial win, taking out Eric Almirola on the last lap of the race. Austin Dillon had a chance to win the 2023 Daytona 500 with Kyle Busch, and he's looking to win his second Daytona 500 in the 2024 season. Up next, how about the 4-car for Stewart-Haas Racing? There's going to be a change to this team as Kevin Harvick has officially retired from the NASCAR Cup Series and will be joining the Fox Sports booth in 2024. In his place is going to be Josh Berry. Josh Berry is moving on from Junior Motorsports in the NASCAR Xfinity Series and move up to the Cup Series. Will be racing in his first ever Daytona 500. We know how good Stewart-Haas Racing has been at super speedway tracks and how good they've been in the Daytona 500 in the past. Josh Berry, of course, will be looking to win his first career race, which will be the Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 5-car for Hendrick Motorsports? This is already confirmed as Kyle Larson will drive the 5-car for Hendrick Motorsports in the Daytona 500. Kyle Larson has come up short of winning the Daytona 500 pass. He had a chance to win in 2017 and was leading on the white flag before, unfortunately, he ran out of fuel and gas. He also had a chance to win in 2021 and also in 2022 and 2023 as well. I think Kyle Larson, he's not the greatest super speedway racer in the world, but he's gotten better over the course of the last few years. I think he's got a good opportunity shot to potentially win the 2024 Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 6-car for RFK Racing? This is already confirmed as Brad Keselowski will drive the 6-car for RFK in the 2024 Daytona 500. Now, Brad Keselowski is a very, very strong super speedway racer and has been really good on super speedways throughout his whole entire career. And I expect him to be a major threat and contender because RFK Racing, like I said, has been extremely strong on the super speedways. But he hasn't won the Daytona 500, but I think there's a good chance, possibility that he could win the 2024 Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 7-car for Spire Motorsports? This is already confirmed as Corey LaJoie will be competing in the 7-car for Spire Motorsports in the 2024 Daytona 500. Corey LaJoie is a pretty underrated super speedway racer. He's been good at tracks like Atlanta and Talladega and Daytona in the past. And I do believe that Corey LaJoie has a solid shot and chance and opportunity to win the 2024 Daytona 500. We'll see how I can do in 2024. Up next, how about the 8-car for Richard Childress Racing? This is already confirmed as we'll see Kyle Busch drive the 8-car once again in 2024. Kyle Busch had a chance to win the 2023 Daytona 500, was actually leading at the lap 200 mark before a car, that being Daniel Suarez, spun out with about 2 or 3 laps to go. That took him out of a chance of winning because they got involved in the last big wreck. Kyle Busch is going to have a chance to win. He's already my pick to win the 2024 Daytona 500 at this point because of how good the program has been. I think Kyle Busch does have a good chance to win the 2024 Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 9-car for Hendrick Motorsports? This is already confirmed as Chase Elliott will be back in the 9-car for Hendrick Motorsports in 2024. Chase Elliott is coming off of a struggling year in the 2023 season, but he has come close to winning the Daytona 500 in the past. I think he will be a major threat and contender to win the 2024 Daytona 500, and I expect Hendrick Motorsports to be contending massively for the win of the 2024 Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 10 car for Stewart-Haas Racing? Well, nothing's been officially confirmed in regards to 10 car. It is expected that Noah Gragson will drive the 10 car for Stewart-Haas Racing in 2024. Noah Gragson is a decent super speed racer. I think he won a couple super speed races in the Xfinity Series with Junior Motorsports, and we know how strong SHR's program has been on super speedways. So therefore, I think Noah Gragson does have a chance to potentially win the Daytona 500 this upcoming season. Up next, how about the 11 car for Joe Gibbs Racing? This is already confirmed as Denny Hamlin signed a multi-year contract extension with Joe Gibbs Racing. Denny Hamlin has 3 Daytona 500 victories and will be looking to win his 4th Daytona 500 in the 2024 season. Luckily for him, I think he's got a good opportunity shot to potentially win the 2024 Daytona 500. Up next, to talk about the 12 car for Team Penske. This already confirmed as Ryan Blaney being the 12 car once again for Team Penske in 2024. Now, Ryan Blaney is coming off of winning the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series Championship, but he's looking to win his first ever Daytona 500. But Ryan Blaney is one of the strongest super speed racers in the field, so I think he's going to have a really good shot and a really strong opportunity to potentially win Daytona 500 in 2024. Up next, how about the 13 car for Kaulig Racing? Well, Kaulig Racing has not confirmed what they'll be doing for this third car as they ran this 13 car in 2024. I would expect it to show up. And I think more than likely either be AJ Allmendinger or Josh Williams driving this car. Most likely AJ Allmendinger because he's more than likely going to be going down to Xfinity on a full-time basis. And I would expect that that will be the 2 drivers who are the main candidates for the ride at this particular moment. I think it'll either be AJ Allmendinger and Josh Williams driving a 13 car for Kaulig Racing in the 2024 Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 14 car for Stewart-Haas Racing? This is already confirmed as Chase Briscoe will be back in the 14 car for Stewart-Haas Racing in 2024. Chase Briscoe was pretty solid on super speedways, and I think he even led the most laps in the 2023 Coke Zero Sugar 400. I expect SHR to be really, really strong in this year's upcoming Daytona 500, and I expect them to bring a strong pace and strong speed in the 2024 season. Up next, how about the 15 car for Rick Ware Racing? Now, Rick Ware Racing has not confirmed their driver of the second car at this moment for the 2024 Daytona 500. Rick Ware historically waits until the last minute to announce it. I think more than likely it'll be J.J. Yeley or David Reagan in that car. What I would guess probably J.J. Yeley or because of the super speedway prowess. But I can see Cole Custer driving the Daytona 500. Maybe even Haley Deegan gets a shot and opportunity, even though I think it's less likely that Haley Deegan will drive in that car. At this moment, though, I'm leaning toward J.J. Yeley or David Reagan driving this 15 car in 2024. Up next, how about the 16 car for Kaulig Racing? While it has not been officially confirmed, Ty Dillon is expected to drive the 16 car for Kaulig Racing in the 2024 season. Ty Dillon is a decent super speed racer. As much as I'm going to crap on him throughout the whole entire Cup season in 2024, he is a pretty good super speed racer, and I think he'll have a decent shot and opportunity to compete for the overall win. Up next, how about the 17 car for RFK Racing? This already confirmed as Chris Buescher will be back in the 17 car for RFK Racing in 2024. Chris Buescher won a super speed race in 2023, that being the Daytona night race in the Coke Zero Sugar 400, decide who could get in the playoffs. He had a strong year in 2023. I expect Chris Buescher to have a really solid chance, shot, and opportunity to win the 2024 Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 19 car for Joe Gibbs Racing? This is already confirmed as Mark Truex Jr. will be in the 19 car for the 2024 Daytona 500, which he'll be competing to try and win the Daytona 500 on his 20th try, very similar to Kyle Busch. Mark Truex Jr., I think, has a decent shot. He's not the greatest super speed racer in the Cup Series historically, which is crazy considering he was pretty good in the Xfinity Series back in the day, but still I think Mark Truex Jr. does have a solid chance and opportunity if he can stay up front to win the Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing? This is already confirmed as Chris Bell will drive the 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing in the 2024 Daytona 500. Now, Chris Bell had a very solid year in 2023 and was okay at super speed races, but he did make a lot of mistakes out on the racetracks. He's hoping to rectify that going into the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season. He's also looking to win his first NASCAR Cup Series championship in 2024. Up next, how about the 21 car for the Wood Brothers? This is already confirmed as Harrison Burton will be driving the 21 car for the Wood Brothers once again in 2024. Harrison Burton had a very solid year, well, not a really good year, I should say, but he is overall a pretty decent super speedway racer and had a chance to maybe win Daytona 500s and other super speed races in the past. I do think Harrison Burton will be somewhat competitive, show some solid pace and speed, and I think he'll have a decent shot to potentially win the Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 22 car for Team Penske? This is already confirmed as Joey Logano will be in the 22 car for Team Penske in the 2024 Daytona 500, as he looks to win his second Daytona 500 in 2024 after winning it in 2015. He came close to win the 2023 Daytona 500, and I do expect that Joey Logano will have a decent chance, shot, and opportunity to get it done. I expect him to be a major threat and contender for Daytona 500 in the 2024 season. Up next, how about the 23 car for 23XI Racing? This is already confirmed as well, as Bubba Wallace will be back in the 23 car for 23XI Racing in 2024. Bubba Wallace is a pretty good super speed racer. I know that his stats in the next-gen era have not looked very, very good, but he has come close to win Daytona 500 multiple different times. And I do believe he's got a shot and opportunity to win it in 2024. And he's probably one of the easy favorites going into next year's Daytona 500. I think he has a really good chance, shot and opportunity to get it done in the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season, maybe win multiple races as well. Up next, how about the 24 car for Hendrick Motorsports? This is already confirmed as William Byron will be driving the 24 car in the 2024 Daytona 500. Now, William Byron's gotten a couple super speed wins in his NASCAR Cup Series career. He won at Daytona in 2020 and also won at Atlanta in 2023. I do believe that William Byron will be a major threat and contender to win this Daytona 500, especially if all the Hendrick cars are in contention for the win. He did almost win the Talladega race, the most recent race we went there. I think that he will have a solid chance and opportunity to win the Daytona 500 in 2024. Up next, how about the 30 car for 3F Racing? Now, 3F Racing has ambitions to join the NASCAR Cup Series. They've been racing in the NASCAR Euro Series as of late, and I think there's a chance and possibility that we are going to see this team show up at the Daytona 500 in 2024. My guess is maybe Ryan Vargas gets a shot and opportunity to drive his car, maybe even then bring Justin Allgaier to drive his 30 car as well. Nonetheless, I think they will show up in 2024. Up next, how about the 31 car for Kaulig Racing? This is already confirmed as Daniel Hemrick will be in the 31 car for Kaulig Racing in 2024. Now, I think Daniel Hemrick is going to be underrated for the Daytona 500 because Daniel Hemrick is an okay super speed racer. He's been okay with Kaulig Racing. We know how strong Kaulig Racing super speed program has been, at least in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I think he'll have a decent run, a shot and opportunity to compete maybe for his first Daytona 500 win and his first NASCAR Cup Series victory. Up next, how about the 33 car for Richard Childress Racing? Now, I do think there's a chance and possibility that Richard Childress Racing could field a third car for the Daytona 500. And if they do, I think it will be Austin Hill who will be driving behind the wheel. There's a chance that Austin Hill could drive the 62 car for Beard Motorsports, but more than likely, I think that Richard Childress is going to want to field a car for Austin Hill in the Daytona 500. They fielded a third car before for Austin Hill in the past. They fielded for him one at Michigan in 2022. I think there's a chance we see the third RCR car in 2024. Up next, how about the 34 car for Firmer Motorsports? This is already confirmed as Michael McDowell will be back behind the wheel of the 34 car in 2024. Now, Michael McDowell is a former Daytona 500 winner. He won the 2021 Daytona 500, and he's looking to win his second Daytona 500 and get his second career super speedway win as well. It'd be really cool for him to join a elite club of two-time Daytona 500 winners. I think he does have a chance and opportunity to get that done. Up next, how about the 36 car for Front Row Motorsports? Now, Front Row Motorsports historically tends to run 3 cars in their arsenal for the Daytona 500. And I expect that Riley Herbst more than likely will drive his car in 2024. Riley Herbst has made a couple starts with Front Row Motorsports in the past in the NASCAR Cup Series, and I think that tradition is going to continue in the 2024 season. So therefore, I predict that Riley Herbst will be behind the wheel of this car in 2024. Up next, how about the 38 car for Front Row Motorsports? We already know who's going to be behind the wheel of this 38 car in 2024, and it is going to be Todd Gillen. Now, Todd Gillen is coming off having a pretty solid year in 2023, and I think he's going to have a decent shot to maybe be an underdog for the Daytona 500. He almost won his dual race in 2023, so he could be someone that could be an underrated pick for the Daytona 500 in 2024. I expect him to be somewhat a threat and contender for the 2024 Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 41 car for Stewart-Haas Racing? We already know who's behind the wheel of the 41 car for 2024, and that is going to be Ryan Preece. Now, Ryan Preece, unfortunately, the last time at Daytona International Speedway, he had a really scary and nasty flip. It'd be really cool redemption for him to maybe come back to Daytona and maybe win his first ever Daytona 500. I've already mentioned this with SHR, but this could be someone that could have a chance considering SHR does have a really good and solid super speedway program. He'll be one to keep an eye out for sure. Up next, how about the 42 car for Legacy Motor Club? This is already confirmed as John Hunter Nemechek will be behind the wheel of the 42 car for Legacy Motor Club in 2024. Now, John Hunter Nemechek did almost win the 2023 Xfinity Series opener at Daytona National Speedway, and John Hunter also won Atlanta Xfinity Series in 2023. We know Legacy's shown some improvement and will, of course, be joining Toyota in 2024. We'll see what John Hunter can do, and maybe we'll see him potentially win his first ever NASCAR Cup Series race in the Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 43 car for Legacy Motor Club? This is already confirmed as Eric Jones will be behind the wheel of the 43 car in the 2024 Daytona 500. Now, Eric Jones is a former winner at Daytona National Speedway. He won here in 2018 to pick up his first career victory, and that, of course, was with Joe Gibbs Racing. I think Eric Jones is someone to keep your eyes out on for sure for the 2024 Daytona 500. He's an underrated super speedway racer, and I think he will 100% be a major threat and contender to get it done. Keep your eyes out on Eric Jones because he's someone to watch for in this year's upcoming Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 45 car for 2311 Racing? This already confirmed as Tyler Reddick will be behind the wheel of the 45 car for 2311 Racing in 2024. Now, historically, Tyler Reddick is not the greatest super speedway racer, but he'll have some good teammates to work with, including Bubba Wallace and, of course, co-owner Denny Hamlin to try to help him out, which I think could be some really good assets to help him out, and I think Reddick will have a decent shot to compete for the 2024 Daytona 500 victory. Up next, how about the 47 car for JTG Doherty Racing? This is already confirmed as Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will be back by the wheel of his 47 car in 2024. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., of course, is the defending winner of the Daytona 500 going into 2024 after winning it in 2023. And I think Stenhouse is a pretty good super speedway racer as well. So I do expect that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will be competing for the overall win once again and looking to go back-to-back in 2024. Up next, how about the 48 car for Hendrick Motorsports? This is already confirmed as Alex Bowman will be back in the 48 car once again in 2024. Alex Bowman's coming off of a not-so-great year in 2023, but we know that Alex Bowman for sure will be contending for the pole for the Daytona 500. The question is, can that car be not as bad handling-wise, and can it potentially lead Alex Bowman to winning the Daytona 500? I think that definitely could give him a shot and opportunity to maybe win the Daytona 500 in 2024. Up next, how about the 50 car for the Money Team Racing? There have been a lot of rumors circulating the Money Team was going to shut down, but it sounds like this team will more than likely once again be back in 2024, though they have not announced any official plans for 2024 at this moment. My best guess is there's two drivers who are in the running. I think Julio Castroneves may get a shot and opportunity to run this organization. We know that he's looking to run the Daytona 500. And I also think there's a chance that a driver like Matt DiBenedetto could get behind the wheel of this 50 car for the Money Team. He's working with some partners and looking to try to get some funding to go racing in 2024. He did update that recently. I can see Matt DiBenedetto, Julio Castroneves driving his car in 2024. Up next, how about the 51 car for Rick Ware Racing? This is already confirmed as Justin Haley will be joining Rick Ware Racing in the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season. Justin Haley, in my opinion, is a really solid super speedway racer. He won 4 Xfinity Series super speedway races with Kaulig Racing, and we know Rick Ware and Ford are generally really good on the super speedways, and bringing Justin Haley in, I think, is going to help out a lot. I think Justin Haley will be a big threat, an underdog threat to potentially get it done in 2024, maybe get his second Daytona victory in his career. Up next, how about the 54 car for Joe Gibbs Racing? This is already confirmed as Ty Gibbs will be behind the wheel of the 54 car for Joe Gibbs Racing in 2024. I think Ty Gibbs is decent in super speedway racing. He's not the greatest in the world, but he's also had a lot of bad luck at super speedways, and you do have to have a lot of luck go your way if you're going to want to compete for an overall victory in the Daytona 500. Luckily for him having some good teammates help him out, I think he will be a big threat to get it done in 2024. Up next, how about the 62 car for Beard Motorsports? Now, the last couple of years, Austin Hill has been behind the wheel of this number 62 car, but I think things are going to change in 2024. Because I think that Parker Kligerman is who I predict will be behind the wheel of the number 62 car for Beard Motorsports for the 2024 Daytona 500. Parker does have a little funding and sponsorship to go with him, and they're looking for someone who has a pretty big personality, and Parker does bring a lot of that personality to the table. So I do think that you'll see Parker behind the wheel of a car in the Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 66 car for MBM Motorsports? MBM Motorsports, I think, will have a chance to maybe run the Daytona 500 in 2024, and I predict that Timmy Hill will be behind the wheel of this car. Timmy Hill is someone who I have a lot of respect for. I think he's underrated. He does own a truck series team that he's been focused on really trying to grow for the last year or two. They've had some solid runs as an organization, but they've struggled at times to make the field as well. Nonetheless, I think we'll see this organization run with Timmy Hill, that being MBM, in 2024. Up next, how about the 67 car for 2311 Racing? Now, last year, they actually ran this car in the Daytona 500 with Travis Shaw, where Travis, I think, finished 13th or 14th in the overall event. I think they're going to show up once again with a third car. My prediction, more than likely, is my guess is probably going to be Chandler Smith or Sheldon Creed. Both are going to be joining Joe Gibbs Racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. But a fun potential hypothetical, maybe we see Lewis Hamilton or Carl Edwards come up and race in this. Denny Hamlin had been talking to Lewis Hamilton about racing the Daytona 500 when he was at Las Vegas. And Carl Edwards been interested in maybe doing a one-off, so there's maybe a possibility we see that. But more than likely, I think it's going to be Chandler Smith or Sheldon Creed. It won't be Kurt Busch because Kurt's retired at this point, so it'll likely be Chandler Smith or Sheldon Creed who's behind the wheel of this car. Up next, how about the 71 car for Spire Motorsports? This is confirmed as Zane Smith will be behind the wheel of the number 71 car for Spire Motorsports in 2024. Now, nothing has been confirmed on the crew chief side of things about other things, but Zane Smith will, of course, have Trackhouse help going into 2024. I think Zane Smith is a pretty solid super speed racer. He won the 2022 truck and 2023 Truck Series openers at Daytona and was a threat at Talladega and other super speedways. So, therefore, I think Zane Smith will be somewhat a threat at contender for the 2024 Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 77 car for Spire Motorsports? This is already confirmed as Carson Osbar will be behind the wheel of a 77 car for Spire Motorsports in 2024. Now, Carson Osbar, I think he did ruffle some feathers at Phoenix, but he is an okay super speedway racer, and I'm wondering if a lot of people are going to work with him. I know he had some issues at Talladega, and he did cause a wreck, though it really wasn't fully his fault at Talladega. Nonetheless, I think Carson Osbar will be okay in this year's upcoming Daytona 500. Up next, how about the 78 car for Live Fast Motorsports? Now, while Live Fast Motorsports will not be full-time in 2024, they are going to run part-time, and BJ McLeod, I expect to be the driver of this number 78 car for the Daytona 500, considering BJ has been competing in the Daytona 500, I think, for 5 or 6 years straight up to this point. I think he's still going to continue doing this in 2024. It is good to see that this team is going to continue being a thing, and BJ will be behind the wheel of this car, I think, in 2024. Up next, how about the 84 car for Legacy Motor Club? While it's not been officially announced, Jimmy Johnson is likely going to run the Daytona 500 for Legacy Motor Club once again in 2024. Now, Jimmy did not have a great time in 2023 behind the wheel, but I think things are going to turn for Jimmy. Of course, he's a two-time Daytona 500 winner, and Jimmy looks to win his first Daytona 500 since 2013. Maybe some luck will happen, and he will have a shot to win the Daytona 500 in 2024. Up next, how about the 91 car for Trackhouse Racing? Now, obviously, nothing's confirmed in regards to Shane Van Gisbergen's schedule, but I could actually see him getting an exception and running in the 2024 Daytona 500. This is the only race I predict that SVG will run on the ovals in the Cup Series. I think more than likely a lot of his oval schedule is going to come in the Xfinity Series and Truck Series, and I also think he'll probably run a Super Speedway race at Daytona, either in the Truck Series or the Xfinity Series, so that he can officially get approved to run the Daytona 500. Nonetheless, though, I think Shane Van Gisbergen will be running the Daytona 500 in 2024. And finally, let's talk about the 99 car for Trackhouse. This is confirmed, and it will be Daniel Suarez behind the wheel. Now, Daniel Suarez has been okay in the Daytona 500 in the past, but he's had a lot of bad luck. In fact, he missed the field in 2020 when he was driving for Gaunt Brothers. But I do believe that you're going to see Daniel Suarez be okay in the Daytona 500, and I expect some solid runnings. And I think you'll see Trackhouse be very competitive with all the cars they got in 2024. So, that is your early look at what the Daytona 500 interest could be for 2024. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, as more on Patreon as well. Links description below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's video. What do you think the Daytona 500 interest is going to look like for 2024? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As we get more updates in regards to the Daytona 500 interest, I'll probably have more update videos in regards to that when things do get officially confirmed. There's a lot of other major content dropping. I've got a schedule predictions for 2025 that's going to be dropping here tomorrow on the channel. Sunday will either be an Abu Dhabi GP race review or will be something else that will be special on the channel. Monday will likely be a team preview on the channel. Then Tuesday there could be a NASCAR news video, but we'll just have to wait and see. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.